Welcome back to the 9th episode of the Diving Into Sports podcast with your hosts Lyle
and Nash.
Henry. Let's dive into today's topic. Keegan Bradley back on top. From Zozo to the Travelers, he's won twice this year now on the PGA Tour with Scott Vail at his side, the great caddy. And it was very entertaining to see the sort of hometown New England born fan favorite just cruise through TPC River Highlands and win by 3 strokes. It's hard to root against. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, it was a very fun week, especially because there aren't very many northeastern golfers, and it was nice to see him get the win up there in his homeland. But I also was noticing the whole week that the leaderboard was primarily Americans. I mean, the whole top 5 Americans, and then, I mean, they're obviously international. I always like to see the international players showing through, even though it is the American Tour. But it was a really fun week, even though towards the end it wasn't super competitive. It was still interesting because there's always that chance that Bradley could slip and stumble.
Well, and Keegan had that bogey stretch on the back 9. Still, though, he had done so much before that where at least I knew he was not going to give up a win like that. Zach Blair, I mean, gotta feel good for him to really come out of nowhere. Had the medical exemption, now only a few FedEx Cup points away from getting status again on the PGA Tour after finishing tied second this week, shooting 62 in round 4. He said he played, I forget the 3 courses. One of them was Winged Foot, I know, 3 days before the tournament to prepare him. 3 hard courses, famous courses. Before TPC River Highlands, so it made the course feel easier for him. Clearly it worked because he has not ever had a finish this good on the PGA Tour, and for it to come out this point in his career is just huge for him.
And another name that was up there the whole week that continued to catch my eye was Minwoo Lee.
Woozy.
He's played great golf lately as he finished tied 5th at the U.S. Open, his best major finish ever by far, and then this past week at the Travelers he finished in 9th. His game has really transferred well from the DP World Tour to America, and it's fun to watch as his game is on the full upswing.
Another player that's really back in full form is Ricky Fowler. We mentioned him in our last podcast after a good week at the U.S. Open, not a great round 4. And then this week at the Travelers finished tied 13th, also not a great round 4, considering how low this course was playing. But still, 16 under, finishing score tied with Hideki, and nothing to complain there. And then Denny McCarthy tied 7th. That man continues to climb up those FedEx Cup rankings as he is now 21st, moved up 7 spots after the Travelers, and it's not hard to tell why when you're the best putter on tour and you've been putting together epic finishes like...
I forget what I've even said. That's the problem. Like, where did we left off? What I said? Because I don't know how much I...
Move up the FedEx Cup rankings. Solid finishes week after week as he almost won in Columbus at Jack's Place and now close to winning here. Quite frankly, after the first 2 rounds, I thought he was going to win, actually.
Yeah, he has been playing really good golf lately, and same with Brian Harman, who finished in 2nd. He played really well at the U.S. Open. He's had a couple really good finishes in a row. Chaz Reavie, too, very good golf lately. Barracuda champion, past winner. That's his only PGA Tour win ever.
Yeah, we were just talking about how Nash was saying the cream always rises to the top in these designated events, but Zach Blair and Chez Reavie are not the cream. They are not very... I mean, I'm being honest here. They're just not very big golfers as far as their finishes and popularity. Not many people know about him, even though Chez has won here before, so it wasn't a surprise to see him finish in the top 5. However, he is in his 40s, and only one man has won in his 40s this year on the PGA Tour. That was Justin Rose. So that would have been a shocking win if Reeve would have gotten it done, but he did not.
However, there were some names that I thought might rise to the top but did not. For example, Michael Thorbjornsen, the amateur who plays at Stanford, he finished 4th at the Travelers last year. He actually missed the cut by a few strokes at over 3 this week. I was very surprised at that because I thought he might rise up again. And then CT Pan almost finished in dead last at over 8. Him and Carl Yuan together I both thought might do better. They both finished at over 8. Yuan and Pan both played really well at the Canadian Open. Pan has had 2 back-to-back top 5 finishes before this on the PGA Tour. I'm a big fan of his, and I like Yuan as well, but both of them I thought would do better. Meanwhile, they almost finished in dead last. So I was shocked about a few players this week. I was kind of surprised about the whole top 10, not like Scotty Scheffler and Patrick Cantley and McIlroy, but other people in there. I didn't think they'd be up there, like Reeve and Bradley and Blair. I wasn't expecting.
And now I'm going to rave about 2 of the golfers that I thought for them really will give them a lot of confidence after this weekend. Just had 2 great weeks overall for themselves. Ludwig Aberg, number 1 in PGA Tour University, exempt on PGA for 2 years, I believe. He's just fit right in immediately. He's going to win on the PGA Tour very soon, I guarantee you, mark my word. It could be in the next few weeks. And then...
Wow, bold take there.
Brett Stegmeyer, a Monday Q into this tournament, finished at 6 under. He is a local, and he Monday Q'd into it, and he made the cut, and now he's Monday Qing into the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which he will play at. And so 2 weeks in a row, and if he makes the cut there, he shows he has, this sounds weird saying this, but he has potential too. I watched him play and he looks really good. Brett Stegmeyer, even though he's not spring chicken, he still has some good golf in him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there were some interesting names like that did play well, like we've already said, of course. I mean, I just wasn't... I knew Bradley could have a good week because he's from up there, but never did I think he would win. I knew he had won at the Zozo, and I knew his game was on the upswing, but wow. I personally was not predicting him to win this week at all.
Wow.
I thought it might be one of the bigger names like McIlroy or Scheffler, honestly, even though that is not what... Obviously, that's what most people would say, but...
And that's not what I would say. I am big on Keegan, and I thought he had a good chance at winning this week because he's from New England. Family was there. All his fans were there. It really clearly motivated him. I saw him talking about it, to push and not get too emotional because he saw how many people were supporting him. And you could just tell how much it meant to him, and it was really special to see him walking up to that 18th green, soaking it all in.
Yeah, he was on cloud 9 for sure.
And I just love to watch this type of golf. I love to see these stories. I love to hear about what got people to these points in their life. And Keegan is such a great guy, always has a great personality. And I really just couldn't have picked a better ending and a better week for a golf tournament, and especially for a designated event, because it's even bigger, makes the win even larger.
Big
the
news.
Amount of money, big for the Bradley family and big for the golfing world. Keegan has his name stamped for the second time on the PGA Tour winners from 2023. Great to see. And we will see how the Rocket Mortgage Classic goes this upcoming week, and we will have a recap as fast as we can after that is complete. But for now, it's all about Keegan. Thanks for tuning in.
Remember, you can listen to Diving into Sports on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Pocket Casts, and Stitcher. We'd love it if you could follow us on all of those platforms. And check out our Twitter account. Our handle is @NashAndLyle.
By the way, we're now available on Google Podcasts as well.